BlueSkyPlan has many different tools that allows the quick and easy design of a wide variety of splints and night guards. The design process is completely free and takes just a few minutes, and when you've confirmed the design and you're ready to export to your computer, the export is half a credit, costing just a few dollars. In today's training tutorial, we're going to be designing a flat plane occlusal splint with bilateral balanced occlusion and light interior contact. If you would like to have the case designed and or manufactured for you, visit labpronto.com to see how you can expedite and save money on your digital lab products. We're going to start on our BlueSkyPlan launcher home screen, and we're going to select the option for splint. We have two different process flows here, one for an incisal splint and one for an occlusal bite splint. We're going to choose the option for an occlusal bite splint. I'm going to associate this case with an existing patient. If you want to create a new patient, select the new patient option. Right now, I have the existing patient selected. And of course, if you don't want to associate the case with the patient, simply click Skip Patient. I'll search for my existing patient. I'll choose our patient Sky Blue, select it. Our treatment plan name has been created automatically, and I can edit it by clicking the pencil icon to the left. I'll select the relevant jaw and review the default settings. We could adjust any of the default settings either by just clicking the number and typing in the new value, by grabbing and dragging the slider, or by using the left-right buttons. Once we've confirmed our selection, we're going to click on Next. We're going to navigate to the location on our computer for the relevant datasets. Before we do that, we could just take a look at the ad that we have on the right side of the screen. Our new version of the BlueSkyPlan Implant Planning Wizard is really incredible. It goes beyond just making suggestions, but it actually does the planning and the process flow for you. I really think it's an unparalleled level of automation that we're introducing now in the BlueSkyPlan Implant Planning Wizard. Okay, we're going to continue our process flow by navigating to location on our computer with the relevant datasets. You could go ahead and use the hierarchy on screen. We also have the quick navigation access buttons going across the top. Go ahead and left click on the first file. You have a preview on the right side of the screen. Hold down the Shift key and left click on any additional files. Once you've selected the proper files, go ahead and click on OK. We could see a preview of the files on the right-hand side of the screen. We could toggle on and off the visibility. We could remove any file if we've selected the wrong one, and then import the correct file. Once we've confirmed the selection of our files, we're going to go ahead and click on Next to load them into the software and start the planning process flow. We're going to confirm that the models are aligned properly in space by following the image on the top left and marking the locations as indicated in the image. We're going to mark 3 locations to create a horizontal plane, and we add a marking simply by holding down the Shift key and left-clicking with our mouse button. We've marked point 1, we're going to progress to marking point 2 and marking point 3. We could see that the model's been aligned properly in space, and it correlates to the orientation of the head on the bottom left. If we like, we can use the arrows next to the head on the bottom left to go ahead and to rotate our 3D scene. If we need to make any modifications to the alignment, we could use the widget that appears on screen to move or rotate the model accordingly. Once we've confirmed alignment, we're going to click Next to continue. We're going to add a jaw articulator by left-clicking once between our 2 front teeth as indicated in the image. Once again, hold down the Shift key and left-click once between the 2 front teeth. We could see that our jaw articulator has now been added. We have an advanced section. If you'd like to make additional modifications to the articulator parameters, you could open the advanced section and make the relevant changes. Once we've confirmed that we've added the articulator properly, we're going to go ahead and click on Next. We're now going to review and confirm the path of insertion. We could either use the arrow on screen to adjust the path of insertion, and we could see that the highlighted areas adjust accordingly. Or we could rotate the model and then click the Define Insertion Direction from View button. Once we've reviewed and confirmed the settings for the path of insertion, go ahead and click on Next. We are now going to draw the curve by which the splint is going to be designed. So I'm rotating the model on screen by using my left mouse button to grab and to drag. When I want to start drawing that curve, to mark a point as we've been discussing, marking a point in BlueSkyPlan is always holding down that Shift key and left clicking. So I'm going to go around the model, holding down the Shift key, left clicking to add the relevant node markings. And when I want to rotate the model, I simply release the Shift key and then I'm able to grab and drag and rotate accordingly. So I'm going to go all the way around. Indicating the curve. And I'm going to go back to the start point. We could see we have the orange, which is the start point, the green, which is the current endpoint. And I'm just going to bring them together and then finally just drag the endpoint to the start point. And the orange and green colors have disappeared when we now have one continuous curve. You could review the curve, grab and drag any of the nodes as needed accordingly. If you would like to restart and redraw that curve, then go ahead and click on Clear Curve and then click Draw Curve to redraw. Once we've confirmed the curve for the splint, we're going to go ahead and click on Next. We have various options and tools that you could use to create the splint. You could raise the splint height to the antagonist cusp tips. You could raise the splint to a plane, or you could raise a splint to the plane and have a ramp that's angulated as well. When you click one of the options, we're going to raise it to a plane. Then we could see a quick preview of kind of how it's going to look rendered very quickly in our 3D view. Of course, once we finalize the preview, then we'll see the actual splint in the next step. So the advantage being here is as I make changes, the rendering will update automatically. I'm going to use the visibility options from right here, and I'm going to turn on the visibility of the opposing jaw. And because we want anterior contact, what we're going to do is we're going to click on the plane to activate it and just lower that plane all the way down until we have a bit of overlap with the lower jaw. We can see how the preview has just adjusted on the fly, showing us essentially how it's going to look. Now we had set our minimal splint thickness to 2 millimeters. I'm going to use this button right here to have my options of using the articulator to open the jaw. I'm going to open it a bit more. We'll open the jaw to, let's see, enter 3.5 here. Open. And based on that, I'll go ahead and I'll lower the plane slightly. And I'm going to adjust the angle of the plane a little bit to keep that interior contact, but to reduce the height of the splint or the width of the splint slightly in the posterior. So I used the widget on screen to go ahead and rotate, and our preview has been adjusted. Once we're happy with our quick preview, we could go ahead and click on Next. So while this is processing and generating our splint, we could see the various options that we have in our visibility panel. So we could toggle on and off the transparency of our models. We could view or hide the minimal thickness indicator. In the 3D view as well, we could click on a model and make it transparent or hide it completely, and then have it appear back on screen through the visibility panel. Okay, so right now we see the splint on screen. We could see the colors indicating the contacts that we have right here. I could hide this. And now if we want to go ahead and, let's say, smooth out our contacts a bit, what I could do first is use the option right here to resolve and remove the material for the conflicts and resolve those collisions. We could see that those collisions have been subtracted out from the splint. And now I'm going to go over here. We have a smoothing brush tool. We have add remove material brush tool. And we have a local deform brush tool. So I'm going to go ahead and use the smoothing tool. We have different parameters here that could be adjusted. I'm going to hold down the shift key to activate the tool. Let's make the tool a little bit larger. Now I'm just going to go over here and smooth out the contacts. And now I could use any of our other tools. We have here, for example, a plane cut tool. So I could go ahead and trim the splint if I like by double clicking to activate it. And then I could raise it, let's say, to here, change the angle a bit. No, let's undo that. Okay, there we go. And now this yellow arrow in the middle indicates which half, once we do the plane cut, which half of the cut are we keeping. So I'm just going to click it once to point it downwards. I want to keep that lower half. And it doesn't matter that the circle here doesn't go all the way through. It's going to create and continue the plane and go ahead and slice that accordingly. So let's just give it a final adjustment here. And now I'll click Cut by Plane. Let's turn off our minimal thickness model preview of the previous splint. And this would be our resulting splint. So if I'm happy with everything here, then I'm just left with exporting. So I'll click the next button. And we see our various export options. The cost of an export is just half of an export, so really it's just a few dollars to take this designed splint and export it from the software. So we could export just the splint. If we want to export the models as well and have everything exported together, we could check those checkboxes. We have different options for the format for the export. And we have our box here, export as separate files. So if you choose multiple files to export, then each one will be a separate file. If you uncheck the checkbox, then the touching files will be merged into a single file. At this point, I'm going to click Export, choose the location on my computer where I'd like to save the splint. Let's call this folder Sky Blue Splint. Enter, click OK, and the splint will be saved and exported to that folder.